Welcome to the ZGuy programming channel. Today we're going to start our entrance into the Python programming language. We're going to develop our very first application, and true to tradition, we're going to develop what's well known in the programming circles as the Hello World application. So let's get started. You'll have to have had your Python programming language installed, and you'll need a basic text editor in order to type your program in. If you've got those things ready, then let's get started. The very first thing that we need to learn how to do in our programs is to write comments. It's very important that your programs be commented so that others who may read your program later can understand what you're trying to accomplish in your program, because it's not always clear when reading the code. So the way to do a comment in Python is to use the pound symbol or the hashtag. Anything after the hashtag on a given line is regarded as a comment within Python. So let's put our comment in here, my first Python program. On our next line, we're going to print to the screen or display to the screen the text hello world. And it just so happens that Python's command to display things is print. Whatever you want to display on the screen, you put within quotes. So go ahead and save your program. Let's call it hello.py. You have to have the py extension in order for the program to run properly. Go to your command line and bring yourself to the directory where you've stored the hello.py file, and then type Python hello.py and enter to execute. And there you go. You now have Hello World printed to the screen. You've just written your very first Python application. That wasn't hard, was it? So let's go back to our editor, and we're going to make a couple modifications in order to learn a little bit more about some basics of the programming language. We're going to do a little bit more displays to the screen. We're going to get some input from the user. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to issue another print command just to enhance readability. It creates another blank line on the screen. And then we're going to ask the user for their name. Now, when we ask the user for their name, we have to have a place to put the response that they type in. And in programming, we use what are called variables. Variables are locations in memory that store information during the running of your program. Variables can be strings, they can be numbers, they can be whole numbers with no decimals, they can be floating point numbers with decimals. There's lots and lots of different types of variables. Today we're going to talk just about strings and integer variables. Alright, so let's get started here. We're going to create a variable, and we're going to call it name. We're going to assign it with the equal sign a value. And the way we're going to get that value is we're going to have a function called raw input, and then in parentheses and inside quotes, we're going to put a prompt for the user. What is your name? Oops. Then we're going to print to the screen, quotes, hello world, my name is, we'll leave a space there. Now, in order to get the response that the user typed onto the screen, we have to somehow get that name variable into our print statement. And we do that by using, in this case, the concatenation character, which is a plus sign, and we put the variable behind it. So what we're saying is, take what's inside these quotes, that's a string, add to it with the plus sign the variable name. Okay? So let's go ahead and save that. Go back to your command line again, rerun that program. It's going to ask you, what's your name? Hello world, my name is Bill. Simple as that. You've now accepted input and redisplayed it back on the screen. So let's take this a little bit further. I said you were going to work with an integer value. Let's go up a line, create an empty space here, and let's get the user's age. So we're going to create a variable called age. Another raw input function. What is your age? And if you noticed while I was typing that raw input function, a whole block of information came up. The editor that I use allows you to see the function that you're creating and what the parameters are and how that function is used while you're typing it in case you've not used it before. Alright, so now we've asked the user for their age, and let's do a math calculation, and let's create a variable called age 10 and make it equal to age plus 10. Now, you cannot do this as it stands because age, if you recall, is accepting a string, a character string. We can't do math on a character string. We can't take a character string's value and add 10 to it. So Python gives us a function called int, and you put the age variable wrapped inside of this int function, and it will temporarily convert the age character string into an integer so that you can do math on it. Now we're going to modify the print statement we originally did. We're going to say name plus, and my age is, plus age. Again, we're going to use the string age, which is appropriate here. Then we're going to say print in 10 years you will be plus age 10 plus years old. Now, just as we had an issue with using the string to do math, we're going to have the same problem here. We can't use a numeric value in this concatenation fashion here. So we have to go back to a Python function, string, which allows us to convert that number temporarily into a string type so that we can use it in the print statement. Let's go ahead and save that. We'll execute this and see what we get. What is your name? Bill. How old are you, Bill? 35 years old. Hello world, my name is Bill and my age is 35. In 10 years you will be 45. So, play around with what you've learned today. Create yourself some new programs using what you've learned with the print and the raw input commands, getting user input and displaying it back on the screen again. Get comfortable with that, and then on our follow-up video we'll talk more about how we format strings for different types of output to the screen. Alright, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your introduction to Python. Have a great day.